The labyrinth is vast, absolute in its presence, as if a higher power built the blueprint. The intricate folds of the cerebral cortex stretch beyond the realms to which it exists, immaculately lit by slow rivers of light that flow beneath layers of the living built environment. The bodybuilder and Leora stand together at the edge of an immense overlook. The silence between the two is intense. The world doesn't ask to be understood, only witnessed. There are moments in every life when the world remains exactly the same, yet nothing inside you ever will. This is one of those moments. The perspective slowly rises behind them. The scale of the labyrinth becomes unbelievable for one's mind to comprehend. Mountains of folded cortex, living cathedrals, infinite bridges of light, great rivers of electrical activity winding through valleys that disappear into mist. The bodybuilder's figure looks minuscule, not insignificant, more human. Why bring me here? Why show me all of this? Leora stares off into the distance. Her face says it all, but doesn't answer immediately. She walks toward the very edge of the overlook. The golden path ends at her feet. Beyond it, only infinity. She watches the living world breathe.
Because this is where life becomes you.
The revelation is heavy, silence deafening, as if a black hole stole the sound from their space they reside in. Only the distant pulse of the labyrinth remains audible. Leora's internal energy surges. Her hand slowly opens as it starts to rise. She doesn't command the world. When Leora's hand reaches a certain point, she simply touches the air. The labyrinth responds, not with thunder or light, with possibility. Before them, the air ripples. One figure appears, the bodybuilder, older, heavier, his shoulders rounded, the fire in his eyes faded, the vision quietly dissolves. Another appears, the same man, standing taller, healthier, compassionate, strong, surrounded by people whose lives have been changed because he chose not to quit. That vision also fades. The culmination of visions continue. The visions exponentially grow. One turns to 10, hundreds to thousands, different futures, different lives, different choices, like living roots of a tree branching from the one before, in turn becoming the living pathways growing through the labyrinth itself. Are these memories? Leora gently shakes her head.
No, these are possibilities you cultivate.
The bodybuilder watches as countless versions of himself continue walking through different corridors of the labyrinth. Some grow brighter, others disappear into darkness.
Every decision creates a new path. Every habit strengthens one road while another slowly fades. Your future is not waiting for you. It is being built right now.
The world becomes void of sound. We have heard these ideas before, but now we can see them. The cerebral cortex is more than the seat of conscious thought. It is where experience becomes structure, where repetition becomes skill, where attention becomes memory, where discipline becomes identity. Every choice leaves behind a physical trace. You are never simply living your life. You are continuously rebuilding the architecture that makes you, you. The bodybuilder slowly kneels. He places one hand against the glowing floor. During the act, he realizes he doesn't recoil. He feels the pulse beneath him. His heartbeat and the labyrinths fall into perfect rhythm. The magenta and golden light beneath his hand begins spreading outward. Not because Leora touched the world, because he did. The pulse travels farther than he can see, across bridges, through valleys, into distant towers. The labyrinth answers him. He looks up, almost in disbelief. It knows I'm here? Leora smiles, the smallest smile yet.
This place always acknowledged you were here, speaking to you every step of the way. You simply couldn't hear it.
The wind begins moving through endless folds. Not ordinary wind. It carries whispers, millions of electrical voices woven together into something almost musical. The labyrinth is singing, not to Leora, not to the bodybuilder, to anyone willing to listen. The perspective shifts slowly to a height no human being will ever have the privilege of viewing from. Two figures become smaller and smaller until they are barely visible. The labyrinth is the world, an infinite living continent of thought, breathing, changing, growing. Unfortunately, people spend their entire lives inside this extraordinary world, never knowing it exists, not because it is hidden, only because they never stop long enough to listen. The golden path glows one final time. It stretches endlessly beyond the horizon, toward places still unseen, toward mysteries still waiting. The journey has only just begun. Leora turns toward the bodybuilder. Her voice is calm, without urgency, only certainty.
This is only the first chamber. Beyond these walls, there are older places, deeper places, places that shape fear, hope, love, memory, and survival. But those journeys must be earned.
She lends her hand like times before, not to lead him, to walk beside him.
Follow me. There's so much more to discover.
He takes her hand, this time without hesitation. The instant their hands meet, the entire labyrinth exhales. A single wave of blinding light rolls across the infinite cortex, scaling all the folds and towers, flowing over every hidden river and distant horizon, bringing awareness that the world is awake. You did not leave the labyrinth, you simply learned how to see it. The image slowly dissolves back into darkness, the same darkness from the opening. One faint cyan pulse appears, then another, then silence.
Sleep well. The labyrinth remembers, and when you are ready, it will still be waiting.